I was coming from school. I used to live with a cousin. We used to live in Sakumono. At that time, we had a driver. And I was coming from school, and we had a driver that fell asleep on the wheel. And let me take you a little back, if you allow me. So I was young, and my father used to tell me, don't sit in the front seat. Again, to put in the context, I didn't listen. But he had traveled. Again, he had gone on missions. And I don't remember where he was at the time, but he wasn't in Ghana. So he wasn't in Ghana. The driver had picked me. I sat in the front seat. We were on the Spintex Road, and I had a cousin I was living with. And my cousin says, come to the back. Daddy has told you, don't sit in front. I was like, just free me. Let me live. She said it again, come to the back. Daddy has said, don't sit there. I said, leave me alone. And then she was like, okay, come. I have ice cream. I'll give you. I was a simple man. It was simple things that. So I get up. I move to the back. I begin eating the ice cream and chatting with my cousin, and the driver falls asleep on the wheel. The car rams into the bottom of a truck with rice. I was 8 or 9. At that time, cell phones were not everywhere. This is just put in context. My father wasn't in town. He was away doing the work. There was a taxi driver that was passing that picked us. My cousin is 40 now. She still has scars from that accident. The driver has metal in his leg to this day. I didn't get a cut by the grace of God. And I remember this, I tell this story to give context, because when it happened, no one could call my mother. It was on a Spintex Road. Nobody knew who we were. They were just 2 kids and a driver. The driver was dying in front of everybody. The kids were out of it. The taxi driver stops and asks, where are you going? My cousin was in a better state. And the taxi, he manages to show her where we live at the top of the Spintex. Now put yourself in the shoes. My father was away doing what he's been called to do. He gets a call that his children have had an accident. But he's gone to do the work. He's gone to do the work he said he's been called to do. He stopped, he came. I'll never forget, because my Archbishop, Bishop Ben at the time, Apostle Yemi Adefarson, were the ones by my side. Because my cousin was losing her life. She was losing it. My mother didn't know what to do. There was no one to call him. Someone had to go to a phone booth and call him. I believe he was in London, I can't remember. He had to jump on the next plane. Can you imagine what he would be going through on that flight coming back? But he had gone to do the work. And for me, I remember coming out and being like, first thing, I was a little lucid. I was like, where's my father? I was 7 or 8. I was thinking, where's my dad? My dad was doing the work. He had to come back. Obviously, this time he didn't bring me McDonald's, but I guess the speed at which he came in. But those were kind of the things we had to deal with because they were doing what they'd been called to do.